Good evening. On the world news tonight, first the headlines. I will intervene in issues with Emirates Airlines, UAE visa issuance, Tinubu. Nigerians exchanged to 25.93 billion text messages in 2022, says NCC. It's unprofessional for police to invite Nigerians via phone call. Force PRO. Kebbi Custom intercepts 371 packs of cannabis, 98 packs of diazepam drug. And to the next one, Kwara kidnappers detain pastor's wife with money bearer, demand 5 million naira. And to sports, Adesanya to release Style Bender film September. Now the news shortly. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday said he was ready to personally intervene in the issues with Emirates Airlines and the issuance of United Arab Emirates UAE visa to Nigerians. The president also said African countries have a better chance of overcoming economic and security challenges by looking inward for solutions and walking the talk on all of its pledges and agreements. Tinubu said these while receiving letters of credence from 3 envoys at the presidential villa Abuja. The diplomats were Ambassador of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Mr. Ãñgry Mohammed, Ambassador of the Republic of Cuba, Mrs. Miriam Morales Palomero, and Ambassador of United Arab Emirates, Salim Saeed Al-Shamsi. Recall that United Arab Emirates UAE flag carrier Emirates Airlines suspended its operations in Nigeria last October following the company's inability to repatriate over $85 million blocked fund. Subsequently, the government, in a notice made available, slammed a visa ban on Nigerians seeking to visit Dubai. They said the rejections in general for Nigerians and approvals are on hold at the moment. Also, there would be no refund for rejected applications. These were the issues President Tinubu told the UAE ambassador that he would personally intervene. President Tinubu, in a statement by Ãñgry Ngelale, a special advisor on media and publicity, said Africans need to work for the progress of Africa. We should be able to resolve our internal problems collectively. It requires a great commitment, but we must do that. No one can understand our people than we do. Homegrown solutions are better for all of us, and the remedies will last longer. While receiving the UAE ambassador, President directed that issues affecting relations with the Emirates Airlines and issuance of visas to Nigerians should be immediately resolved. He emphasized that he stands prepared to personally intervene. Tinubu told the ambassador, "We are a family. We can have an erring son or daughter, but we must work together. We need to agree on core aviation and immigration issues." Nigerians and other telecommunication consumers within Nigeria exchanged over 25.93 billion text messages locally in 2022, the Nigerian Communications Commission has said. The NCC disclosed this in its newly released 2022 subscriber network data annual report. According to the report, there was a 28.82% increase in the total number of text messages sent and received on a year-on-year basis. The report further showed that about 14.09 billion SMS messages were sent and about 11.84 billion were received. It was also disclosed that MTN recorded the highest number of text messages exchanged. The report read in part, the total number of national SMS both sent and received as at December 2022 was 25 million. This is an increase of 28.82% from that of total SMS sent and received in year 2021 that stood at 20 million plus. There was 48.84% increase in the number of SMS sent in year 2022 compared to year 2021. Conversely, the year 2022 count of received SMS also increased by 11.06% higher than that of year 2021. In year 2022, MTN recorded the highest count of SMS received and sent together, respectively. The report also revealed that international SMS sent as at December 2022 was 59 million, while the total number of SMS received was 59 million. Information reported that Nigerians and other communication consumers within Nigeria spent 3.33 trillion naira on calls, data, SMS, and other telecom services in 2022. And to the next story. The Nigerian police force has said it is unprofessional for police officers to be calling suspects on the phone to report themselves at police stations. The force public relations officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, said this while condemning the trend of police officers calling suspects on the phone to report themselves at a police station. Adejobi on Saturday was responding to a question by a Twitter user on whether it is proper to accept calls from police officers that claim matters are reported to them and threaten someone to come. A user, Onyedikachi Azuna, had asked the force public relations officer if it was proper to accept calls from those that claim they report matters to them and threaten someone to come. Responding to the question, Adejobi described the trend as unprofessional, saying that calling suspects on the phone was strange to the police. He stressed that a suspect could either be invited through writing or arrested. You can receive an unknown calls if you wish, but it's not professional. It's either you write or invite someone or arrest him. The development of calling suspects on the phone is strange to the police. I don't appreciate that development. Arrest or write an invite, the force PRO said. Moving on to the next story. The Benue State Police Command has arrested one person in connection with the murder of a retired judge, Justice Margaret Igbeta. Information reported that the decomposing body of the retired resident of the Benue Customary Court of Appeal was found on Thursday at her residence. In a statement issued by the State Command spokesperson, SP Catherine Anene, a copy of which was made available to journalists in Makurdi on Saturday, the police explained that one Aondombe Joseph had been arrested. This statement, written in part on 24th August 2023, at about 3 p.m., information was received at E-Police Division Makurdi that Justice Margaret Mary could not respond to calls and was nowhere to be found. Detectives were immediately deployed for investigation. A search conducted within our house at 1 Kwange Street, Boko Road, Makurdi, led to the discovery of a dead body in a pool of blood inside her kitchen. It was also observed that she had deep cut at her back. Further investigation led to the arrest of one Joseph and recovery of exhibits for detailed investigation. The PPRO conveyed the Commissioner of Police, Benue State Command, CP Bartolomeo Onyeke's condolence message to the family as he condemned the dastardly act. The CP assured the family of his commitment to unravel the mystery behind the death and bring perpetrators of the barbaric act to book. And to the next story. As part of its effort to sanitize the use of drugs, the Nigeria Customs Service KB State Command has again seized 371 parcels of cannabis sativa, also known as Indian hemp, and 98 packs of diazepam. The seizure was made within the last 10 days by the command. Also includes 10 sacks of snuff, 1,080 pieces of donkey skin, 37 bags of foreign rice, 16 bales of second-hand clothing, 300 liters of petroleum motor spirits, and Toyota Corolla car means of conveyance. The commander, KB State Command of the Nigerian Customs Service, Dr. Ben Oramolugo, while handing over the seized drugs to the state commandant of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Usman Suleiman, said he put the value of drugs seized at 94,854,409 naira only. According to him, recall that 10 days ago, precisely on 14th August 2023, during our last press briefing, we made a vow that henceforth there would be no breathing space for smugglers in KB Command, especially those who smuggle drugs and other items injurious to our health and the nation's economy. To this end, we directed our officers to intensify surveillance in all the nooks and crannies of the state, having had a credible intelligence on their impending activities. The duty paid value of the seized items is 164,815,629 naira. Earlier in his remarks, the CAC commiserated with the families of two of his personnel who lost their lives along Boza Koko Ãñgry Road on Thursday. This sad incident, although regrettable, will not deter us or dampen the morale of officers and men of the command. We shall continue to double our efforts and synergy with all the relevant agencies in order to stem the menace of drug smuggling in the states. Moving on to the next story. Some yet to be identified assailants have shot and killed a police orderly. An inspector of police name withheld in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Witness reportedly said the incident occurred around the popular landmark hotel at Oluobasanjo Road on Friday night. The male police inspector was said to be escorting his principal when he was shot at by assailants who escaped in a grey-colored 2005 Toyota Corolla car that also made away with the inspector's AK-47 rifle and beret. Confirming the incident, the River State Police Public Relations Officer, Grace Ãñgry Koko, in a short statement said that effort is ongoing to arrest the fleeing hoodlums and recover the rifle. The spokesperson said the corpse of the inspector had been deposited at the military hospital in Port Harcourt for autopsy. From that story, we go to the next one. Abductors of the wife of Pastor Johnson Ajiboye of the Redeemed Christian Church of God in Kwara State, Mrs. Bola Ajiboye, have detained a man sent to deliver the money to them. They, however, released the woman. Mrs. Ajiboye was kidnapped in a shop at Ãñgry community in the Felodun local government area of Kwara State last Thursday when gunmen invaded the town. Sources disclosed that the woman was released by abductors on Wednesday after the payment of 1 million naira along with foodstuff and other items demanded by the kidnappers. An elderly in the community, however, said the middle-aged man who went to deliver the money to the kidnappers was detained. The elder, who spoke on condition of anonymity because of the sensitivity of the matter, said the kidnappers had got in contact with the community and demanded 5 million naira be paid before the messenger will be released. He said, "We are sad in the community because of the news emanating from our community. Our people now live in fear because of the recent kidnapping. In the area is a journey of 45 minutes to Ilorin. I've been invited to attend a meeting at home on how we're going to raise money for the release of the man who went to deliver the sum of money for the release of the pastor's wife. But I have fear of how to get to the town. The kidnappers have demanded the sum of 5 million naira from the community. How do we raise such?" He said Mrs. Ajiboye had relocated to a private facility in the community to rest. Mrs. Ajiboye was kidnapped around 9 p.m. last Thursday. During the operation at her house, one of her daughters escaped miraculously amid sporadic gunshots, while a man reportedly sustained gunshot injuries from the kidnappers. The spokesperson for the State Police Command, SP Okesomi Ajayi, said he had yet to be briefed on the developments. In a shocking turn of events, a suspected child trafficker met a gruesome fate as he was set ablaze by an enraged mob in Lapei, the administrative headquarters of Lapei local government area in Niger State. The incident unfolded just moments before the Jumat prayer last Friday, casting a dark shadow over the community. The suspect, identified as Dule Sanko Kanu, was taken into custody with two innocent children, their ages ranging from 4 and 5 years old. Startlingly, during a brief interrogation conducted by the furious mob, Kanu confessed to his involvement in a disturbing Rïtüâlīst network. He disclosed that he had been actively supplying stolen children to an ominous master within the vicinity, shedding light on a chilling and long-standing conspiracy. For months, Lapei and its environs have been plagued by a series of unexplained child disappearances, leaving families and the community in a state of distress and fear. However, this time, the tables turned as fate intervened, and the suspect actions were finally laid bare. The young two girls in his possession were on a seemingly innocent errand to purchase household items from a local shop at approximately 1:30 p.m. Little did they know that this trip would bring them face to face with their abductor. An eyewitness who recounted the horrifying incident leading up to Kanu's demise, stated that the suspect had unabashedly admitted to the event in the crime. He admitted that he was en route to deliver the helpless children to his agent when he was intercepted by the incensed residents. Years of pent-up anger and frustration over the relentless child abductions culminated in a vigilante response by the community. The absence of any meaningful intervention from law enforcement agency further fueled their anger. Upon discovering Kanu's sinister intentions, the crowd's fury was unleashed. The suspect attempted to flee, but his escape was thwarted when he was apprehended near the government girls' secondary school along the burial ground road. Dragging him through the town streets, the mob reached its peak, and the uneventful fate awaited Kanu. His life ended in the grim spectacles as the mob set him ablaze, reducing his body to ashes. By the time the local police arrived at the scene, the crowd had disappeared, leaving him a cheered reminder of their vigilance justice. The shocking incident serves as a stark reminder of the underlying tensions and fears that can consume a community grappling with the loss of its youngsters members. An investigation unfolds and authorities grapple with after the aftermath. The story of Dule Danko Kanu and his grim end will forever remain a haunting chapter in La Paz history. And from that story, we go straight to the next one. The world news. The World Bank Country Director for Nigeria, Çhïld, has announced plans to collaborate with the National Identity Management Commission to ensure the successful rollout and registration of digital national IDs for all Nigerians. The ambitious target is to provide at least 148 million people of working age with a digital national ID by the middle of 2024, marking a significant step towards inclusion and accessibility. Çhïld stated these at the dinner in partnership with the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy in Abuja on Friday. He further reaffirmed the organization's commitment to eradicating poverty, improving lives, and creating job opportunities for the country's youth. Çhïld emphasized the potential of leveraging digital technologies to drive transformation and outlined two key areas: partnership with Nigeria to achieve these goals. He added the second is helping Nigeria lead the broadband infrastructure for broadband connectivity between. Without broadband connectivity, digital technologies will lead to a digital divide. So their support has been for good kinds of policies and regulations that will help invite private investment into the space and then fiber optic cables. On one thing, for example, working with the states to persuade states to reduce the right of way fees and fiber. Cable operators have to pay more when they are getting the land to lay the cable. All that is like the foundations and real potentials comes from once you have the national ID, all the technologies that apps can be built on, the weather to bring services to people where they can get people access to finance that. All of that needs skills. Also speaking, the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, revealed that the government has secured access to approximately $500 million in funding to initiate a local funding program. This initiative, he said, aims to boost innovation and entrepreneurship within the country's digital sector. And to end the world news is a sports story. UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya is set to release his documentary titled Stylebender in September, information reports. The Nigerian-born fighter released the trailer on Wednesday following an international premiere at the prestigious Trafficker Film Festival in Manhattan in June. The 34-year-old is undoubtedly one of the biggest names in MMA, making his UFC debut in 2018 after a lengthy stint in the world of kickboxing. Many question his ability to hang with wrestlers and grapplers. However, it will be only a year before the division's belt would be wrapped around his waist. While cocky and flamboyant from the very moment he walked into the cage, the thriller takes us back to Adesanya's early life, detailing how this confidence wasn't always the chase. With the sports story from Adesanya, we've come to the end of today's world news ending. And before we go, a recap from the headlines. I will intervene in issue with Emirates Airlines, UAE visa issuance, Tinubu. Nigerians exchanged 25.93 billion text messages in 2022, says NCC. It is unprofessional for police to invite Nigerians via phone call, force PPRO. And moving on to the next headlines, Custom intercepts 371 packs of cannabis. And lastly on sport, Adesanya to release style bender fame at September this year. For more update of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Baba Gbagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Gbagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement for goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawa. Good evening.